Assalamualaikum and good evening everyone. My name is Ameer bin Ahmad Safuan. I'm from JLG1201B and my student ID number is 2025295 and 612. Today, I would like to talk about a workplace communication assessment using a short but meaningful movie clip from Office Space 1998, famously known as the TPS report scene. Although this clip is presented as a comedy, it strongly reflects real communication issues that still exist in many modern workplaces. By analyzing this scene, we can identify both positive and negative communication practices and learn how to improve communication in our own work environment. Number 1, we'll start with the synopsis of the scene. In this clip, the main character Peter Gibbons works in a corporate office called Anytech. Peter is approached by his supervisor regarding a minor mistake in his work. He failed to include the new cover sheet on his TPS report. The supervisor repeatedly asks Peter whether he received the memo about the new requirement. Peter calmly explains that he did receive the memo and has already corrected the mistake. However, despite Peter's explanation, the issue continues to be raised multiple times by different managers. Each interaction sounds almost identical, creating frustration and highlighting poor communication practices. The supervisors focus heavily on a small procedural detail rather than Peter's actual work performance or productivity. This scene reflects how ineffective communication, micromanagement, and poor leadership style can negatively affect employee morale. What makes this scene powerful is that many employees can relate to this situation, being repeatedly reminded about small issues even after they have already been resolved. Positive communication ideas from the scene. Although the scene mainly highlights problems, there are still several positive communication elements that we can learn from and apply in the workplace. Number 1, importance of clear written communication. The repeated mention of a memo in the scene shows that written communication plays an important role in workplace operations. Memos, emails, and standard operating procedures have ensured that employees receive important updates and instructions. In a real workplace, this teaches us that changes in procedures should be clearly documented. Employees should be informed properly about updates. Important messages should be written clearly to avoid misunderstandings. Clear documentation helps maintain consistency and fairness across teams. Number 2, standardization of work processes. The TPS report itself represents a standardized reporting system. From a management perspective, standardization helps organizations track work, maintain quality, and ensure accountability. This shows that structured systems can be beneficial when implemented correctly. Standard formats help employees know what is expected of them, and clear guidelines reduce confusion in task completions. In a workplace, standardization should support employees, not overwhelm them. Accountability and responsibility. This scene also shows that employees are held accountable for following procedures. Peter is questioned because his report did not meet the required format. From a positive perspective, accountability ensures tasks are completed correctly. Employees understand that their work matters. Organizations can maintain professionalism. However, accountability should be balanced with understanding and respect. Negative communication ideas from the scene. The TPS reports scene mainly serves as a warning about poor workplace communication. Several negative practices are clearly demonstrated. Number 1, micromanagement. One of the biggest issues in the scene is micromanagement. The supervisor repeatedly brings up the same issue even after it has been resolved. This makes Peter feel frustrated and demotivated. Micromanagement can reduce employee confidence, create unnecessary stress, make employees feel untrusted. In effective workplace communication, managers should focus on outcomes rather than obsessing over minor details. Number 2, repetitive and ineffective messagings. Another major problem is the repetition of the same message. Peter is asked multiple times if he received a memo, even though he clearly states that he did. This shows that poor listening skills from management, lack of trust in employee responses, in efficient communication flow. Good communication is not just about sending messages, but also about listening and acknowledging responses. Number 3, lack of empathy and emotional intelligence. The supervisors in the clip fail to recognize Peter's emotional state. They do not consider how their tone and repetition affect him. This highlights the importance of empathy in communication, understanding employee emotions, and maintaining respectful interactions. Without empathy, communication can feel cold, robotic, and discouraging. Number 4, focus on trivial issues instead of meaningful work. The managers focus heavily on a cover sheet rather than Peter's actual contribution to the company. This sends the message that minor procedures are more important than real productivity. This can lead to employee disengagement, reduced motivation, and lack of job satisfaction. Effective communication should prioritize meaningful goals and recognize employee efforts. Number 5, impact on employee motivation. Peter's famous line, where he explains that it is not laziness but lack of motivation, reflects a serious workplace issue. When employees feel their work has no purpose or recognition, their motivation declines. Poor communication can create emotional distance and reduce engagement and even increase turnover. This shows why communication should inspire, not discourage. Lessons for workplace communication. From this scene, we can learn several important lessons that are highly relevant to modern workplaces. Firstly, communication should be clear, concise, and purposeful. Managers should ensure messages are understood without unnecessary repetition. Secondly, respect and trust are essential. When employees confirm that an issue has been resolved, managers should acknowledge it and move forward. Thirdly, empathy and tone matter. How a message is delivered can be just as important as the message itself. Lastly, leaders should focus on meaningful outcomes, not just rigid procedures. Communication should support productivity, not hinder it. Conclusion. In my conclusion, the TPS report seen from office space may be humorous, but it presents as a realistic portrayal of workplace communication problems. It highlights how micromanagement and repetitive messaging, lack of empathy, and poor listening skills can negatively affect employees. At the same time, it reminds us of the importance of clear documentation, accountability, and structured communication when used correctly. By learning from both the positive and negative aspects of the scene, we can improve our own workplace communication, build healthier work relationships, and create a more productive and respectful working environment. That's all from me. Thank you for listening. Bye.